Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now listen to me. One of the biggest things you're gonna have to do in your life that's gonna change everything in your life is get out your feelings. You're gonna have to get out your feelings. As painful as it is, as hard as it is, you're gonna have to get out your feelings. I did a video yesterday and we was talking about how in marriage you got to be ready to what they call put out. And I'm talking about the spiritual warfare of how it's so many memes and women doing TikToks and Instagram reels, like making fun of the fact that they faking they don't want to sleep with their man. And I seen ladies with all these different excuses about like, oh, they don't want to do it because it is. They don't want to do it because it is. The women don't want to do it. The women who don't want to do it, it's not because they don't love their husband. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about women who are laughing and joking and having a great time with their husband, and they do love their husband, but they don't want to do it. Because what you got to realize is things change. Just like as a man, like I don't be wanting to do it because things change. It's like, okay, what's the point? If we're not trying to have kids and all we get is this release, then what's the point? But what we fail to realize is it still is a spiritual connection. It's still bonding. So you don't have to do it 3 times a day. You don't have to do it every day. You don't even have to do it every week. But it still is a necessary part when you are able. We're not talking about exceptions to the rules like somebody having cancer or being sick. We're not talking about that. But one thing I want women to help women understand is that God and men, what God created, what God put in place, God has rules and regulations that it ain't about our feelings. We got to get on his plan. So where the Bible says that the woman is the weaker vessel, where the Bible said in that region or that part of time where a woman is not supposed to be a pastor, where the Bible says that a woman cannot deny her husband her body. God don't care how you feel about that. That's just, it is what it is. The same thing with, as a man, we're instructed to love our wives as Christ loved the church. Did you just not see that we had a resurrection? Look at the resurrection and look at what Jesus went through in the crucifixion for the church. So loving our wives as Christ loved the church, that's a high calling. God don't care about my feelings, how I feel about that. The Bible say I can't deny my wife my body. God don't care about my feelings and how I feel about that. It was a man that I heard say, never question God. And one of the things I want y'all to realize is that what I want women to understand is don't let the devil use you. Because you see how the devil have used men over time. You see what the devil has done with men. Don't take the stupid pill and let the devil use you the way he used Eve in the garden. I remember I was writing my book and I was talking about how Eve was deceived and how Adam followed Eve's lead. Like Adam knew what God told him, but I'm guessing because Adam seen her as the weaker vessel, or maybe because she hadn't put that thing on Adam. I don't know what Adam was thinking about, but I do know we do that all the time. Because as men, we'll actually be in submission to our woman before we in submission to God. As men, we will know our woman is getting us out of the will of God and we'll follow our woman. We will do what our woman want to do because she right there and she right in our face, whereas we can't see God. So a lot of times a woman has more influence in a man's life than God does. A man has to get to a place of maturity to where he don't care about what that woman thinking and feel and what she going through if it's against God. And a lot of women see that as harsh. And you know, I see lady talking about it's a lot of reasons why a woman don't have sex, and it's like, duh. What's understood ain't got to be explained. Like, we already understand that. That ain't what we talking about. We ain't talking about how you feel. We ain't talking about all of that right there. We talking about the command. We talking about what we got to do in our marriages. We talking about, and if you listen to the video, what I said, that a man who love a woman, if a woman got a headache, a man who love her don't want her to sleep with him. Now, if a woman is making excuses, the man gonna know that. And this what I want you to understand is, like, it ain't about how we feel. It ain't about what we want. That's why Sodom and Gomorrah got burned down. That's why we got kicked out of Garden of Eden, because we so caught up on what we want versus what God said do, versus what we supposed to do. This all is bigger than us. It's bigger than us, and it requires selflessness. We got to do more, go more, show more, be more. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy. And so that's one thing what we got to realize and understand is that there's certain things that is gonna make it to where it's not going to be, it ain't gonna be fun. It's like, and what people got to realize, and that's when everything start to flow, when we get outside of ourselves, when we get beyond ourselves. So I was talking, let me tell you what happened. I'll give you a prime example. You know, I mess around, I got me a feeling, and I'm having me a feeling. I want to be with my wife. In the moment of me wanting to be with my wife, and she may have whatever going on, and then she say, I got you. And when she could have said, I got this going on, that going on, that going on, that going on. Before that even happened, God, I felt in my spirit, hey, your wife life ain't soft enough. Like, she need more facials. She need more outings. She need more cute coffee shops. She need more shopping opportunities. You need to work harder. You got to make sure you locked in, you working, you doing what you supposed to do. You got to make sure that you grinding so that you can provide that soft life. And that's how God works. He's going to soften the heart of both partners. And so what you got to understand is this ain't about your feelings. This ain't about what you want. This ain't about none of that. Our call is bigger than that. And I had to block some women yesterday up there arguing with the word of the Lord, up there arguing with the union of marriage. Shut up, Jezebel. That's what Adam should have told Eve. Hey, hold on now, Eve. Hold on now, what you doing? Like, hold on now. And it's a lot of times that I have not been obedient to God, and I have not listened to what God told me to do, because it would cause discomfort to my wife or to my children. But when God has called us to be obedient, because your obedience is greater than your sacrifice. God has called us to shut up and get with the program. And if we learn to surrender and to submit and do it God's way, life gonna be a whole lot better. But we get caught up in our feelings, and that is of Satan. That's the work of the enemy, to get us in our feelings and to get us trying to rationalize in our mind what we supposed to be doing. And that's why you're going through a divorce. That's why we go through the divorce, because the man and the woman is not in submission to God, not in obedience to God. That's why we go through all the chaos and all the turmoil and all that we go through, because we step outside of the will of God, because we too caught up worried about our feelings, what we think is right, what we want to do, how we feel about the situation. That ain't what we call to. We call to obedience. We call to shut up and put up. We call to do what's necessary. That's what we call to. We ain't called to comfort. We're not called to convenience. We call to obedience. Point blank period. And that's one of the things that I keep seeing in women that I'm not seeing as equally in men. I'm not seeing the equal amount of men or men going back and forth with the Lord and what God say do in your marriage, in submission. Do you know now, we husbands and wives submit unto your husbands as unto the Lord. And to the man, we submit unto God. So do you know now the world has made submission a curse word? Man don't want to be in submission unto God, and woman don't want to be in submission unto the man. And that right there throws us out of divine order. That's why our world is in absolute chaos. Could you imagine? What instruction has God given that would lead to destruction? That's an oxymoron. God instruction cannot lead to destruction. God instruction will lead to liberty. It will lead to peace, to freedom. But see, we have become a world where man doesn't want to submit unto God, and woman don't want to submit unto man, and child don't want to submit unto woman. I see it all the time. Women say, "Oh, I need a man. I need a man. I need a man to get my son in order. My son won't listen to me. I need a man. A man." Why won't child submit to woman? Because woman won't submit to man. Why won't woman submit to man? Because man won't submit to God. We out of order. So one thing you got to realize is you can't change the world unless God authorized you to be able to change the world. Jesus came and died for everybody's sins, but not everybody is a Christian. So that shows you right there that not everybody gonna get on board. But this is what you got to realize. You got to be on board. And I'm not gonna stand by and let you be ignorant and let you be disobedient without me calling you out, without me telling you, shut up and put up. Get out your feelings and get into the facts of the matter. Stop going back and forth. Stop making excuses for yourself and get on board. Point blank period. Point blank period, because that's what's going wrong in our world right now, is we don't want to be in submission. We don't want to be in submission. And so that's what we got to realize and understand. And once you understand that, you got to ask yourself, am I obedient to God? Am I in submission unto God? And if you are in submission unto God, then that's all you got to worry about. You can't worry about the rest of the world. You can't worry about what all going on and all of that right there. Are you in submission unto God? And if you are, voila, you gonna see things start to go right in your life. See, for me, I submit unto God. I submit unto God. And so, and here's the thing. It's like a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of women don't understand that if you meet a man of God, you got to be able to trust that man of God. That is what the adversary is doing to destroy marriage and to destroy our world. Satan is emboldening women to be disrespectful and degrading toward men of God, and making a woman want to be contentious with a man of God, and making a woman, and I'm going to tell you, the reason why my house flourish and the reason why we blessed beyond measure is because of order. Because I have submitted unto God and my wife has submitted unto me. If I call a shot, that I feel in my spirit is the shot that need to be called, my wife don't argue with me. My wife don't rebel against me. My wife don't disrespect me. And she honors and respects me, and I honor and respect God. And so what God tells me to do is to honor and respect my wife. What God tells me to do is to ask my wife, how do you feel about this? What's your feelings on this? To hear her mind, to hear her heart. Now, the decision lies on me, but as a responsible man of God, I have to lean on and look into what my heart, what my wife feels. And then God gives me spiritual discernment to be able to discern if he is speaking through her or if Satan is speaking through her. And if Satan is speaking through her, I have to be obedient to God. And in that moment, what'll happen is God will convict her, and now Satan will flee because she realized, oop, I let the adversary speak. And so fortunately, we don't have to go through that. But the thing about it is that happens every day. And I'm seeing it happening more. So think about it and keep your mind like here. Let me give you an example right here. My son got practice tonight. I got a lot of calls going on. A lot happening. And a lot going on, a lot happening. And so my son, he could drive. He got his license. You know, he got him a car. I got him. We got him a car when he was 16. When he turned 16, he turned 18 this Saturday. And so this is a prime example. We talking about I got to drive my son, but I got back-to-back coaching through that time that I would be driving, and got a call. We got a call coming up tonight. So I said, I'm going to go with him. And then I said, actually, there's a way that's no highways and no tolls. I want to send him that route. Is that okay with you? See how I could have just called a shot. But now I'm not honoring my wife because because you can get in a wreck on the road. So if my son was to get in a wreck and I never asked my wife, was she okay with that? Then it'd have been like, oh, you should have asked me. I would have said no. So by me honoring her, hey, is that okay with you? Her response said, it's your call. How long will that take? So you see how honor begets honor? Me honoring her. Now me submitting to God and hearing God say, hey, honor your wife. Respect your wife now. Me respecting her, then she respect me. Now God can flow. Not a Holy Spirit could flow. Not a blessings could flow because we're in order. So what I'm seeing is a lot of demonic women joining the demonic men. So the men that's demonic, they on their path of destruction. And so now it's a lot of women getting off of God's path and becoming demonic too. But the reason why I'm speaking to women, because some women are like, oh, why are you making it this? Because 95% of my YouTube is women. So I got to talk to who God put me in front of to talk to. There's a man of God who 95% of his audience is men. So God gonna have him talk to him. The men that's here, the 5% that's here of my audience, then they hear this and they listen and they get what they supposed to get from it. Or they able to invert it. And so you got to get ready. And like the book of Proverbs, a wise man seeketh reproof. You got to enjoy the truth stepping on your toes. It's not about our feelings. It's about the word and the will of God. It ain't about your headache. It ain't about your stomach ache. Pray for healing. Because the adversary might be attacking your body to give you a headache every day so that you never feel like coming together intimately with your husband. So go to your God that you know and love and that love you and say, Lord, help me heal. Give me a plan. Give me the way. Show me what I'm doing wrong. Show me, bring healing in my body so that this don't continue to affect my mind and affect my marriage. Talk to God. And if it be God will that you be healed, so that your marriage will be healed, or if it's not God will that you be healed, then your next prayer is, Lord, give my husband strength to be able to abstain. Lord, soften his heart so he could understand what I'm going through in my sickness in this season. See, you still got God there. It don't mean like, oh no, I got to drive myself to suicide and keep sleeping with my spouse, even though I'm sick and hurting and broken. No, prayer. So that if my wife go through something and let's say she got to go to the doctor, or she, something going on or something like that, she not feeling good or whatever it may be, all of that right there, then guess what? The Lord give me strength. The Lord give me strength. He give me peace. He give me the ability to be able to abstain, to be able to stay locked in, to be able to remain faithful. So that's what you got to think about and realize. Got to think about and realize that. So, hey, get it through your spirit now. Get this in your spirit now. And don't get mad. Scratch your booty and get glad. It's God over everything. It's his will over everything. It's his way over everything. Stop letting Satan cause confusion between men and women. Cause confusion in the body. That's of the adversary. And you got to recognize when you being used. And the same thing goes to the men. And for the men of God who got majority male followers, I know God is having them speak that, because to the few I got, the Lord have me speak that. And so this go both ways now. But I'm just speaking to who I seen in the comments yesterday, griping and complaining. It sounded like Eve in the garden. Hush. We ain't got the time for it. We ain't trying to keep going through. Be quiet. Get your life together. Talk to the Lord. Talk to the Lord and get it together. We got to do better. Hey, it's Tony Gasson. God bless you. Keep your head up. We'll talk soon. And listen, the truth gonna run folks away. Guess what? Truth gonna bring them back too. I meet women every day say, Tony, I unfollowed you. I unsubscribe. I stopped listening to you because what you were saying was too real and it was making me mad. I ain't want to hear that. But then I realized 12 months later that that's exactly what I need to hear. That you weren't doing nothing but telling me the truth. Because what you were telling me wasn't benefiting you. It was for my benefit. So you're going to get mad. Scratch your booty and get glad. God bless you. We'll talk soon. Oh, all the important links in the description. Y'all look through them, click through them. We'll talk soon.